Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fairview. And who would have thought that almost exactly a year ago this was an empty room. But now, fast forward 12 months, and it's time for a bit of an anniversary special, a layout update, and a bit of a chat about my plans for the months ahead. So let's get started. Before we actually get started with looking at some of the features of the layout, I think it's probably worth having a quick look at least at some aspects of the concept and the track plan that's sort of driving my vision for the kind of layout I'm trying to build. If we start here with a map that I came up with, which attempts to sort of locate the fictitious town of Fairview into a kind of a broader setting, nestled somewhere just on the eastern edge of the Rockies in the United States. Even before this room was ready for building the second version of my layout, I decided I wasn't anymore locating Fairview in a specific part of the US, a bit like John Parker's really inspiring layout, the Fall River division. It's just generically in the Rockies. You can see how we have a link up with the BNSF and in fact the Canadian Pacific just to the east of the first town on the layout, Dexter. As we'll see in a minute, that's where we are at the moment with the work I've done so far. And then I'm modelling aspects of the line between Dexter and Fairview itself, then carrying on up into the mountains proper before disappearing over the Continental Divide off layout and heading down towards the various ports on the western coast of the United States. If we turn to the track plan, well, first of all, perhaps just blend in here an image of what Fairview Mark I looked like, because technically at least it did once upon a time occupy a corner of my garage. But now, to turn it into the image that we have today, you can see that we have quite a lot more space to play with. Nominally 17 feet by about 15.5 feet. And of course that's let me expand the whole concept, starting, well, technically at least starting at Grant Junction, but primarily coming through the staging yard of Dexter itself. So that's now not just the staging yard for the layout, but more of a kind of a working staging yard. It doubles up perhaps as the actual yard of Dexter, where I can switch out some services, and I'll be able to do a little bit of scenic work around the town. And for now at least, on the main deck, as the main line curves around the back there, begins to pass beyond the town itself, start to get out into open countryside. We'll focus on some of the industries and things as we go. But as we reach the control point of Heron, the line splits here between a small branch line which runs through Slaughter Creek Canyon, and then the main line which enters the helix. And at the moment at least, this lower deck portion, which is what I've built so far in this first year, effectively the layout stops inside the helix. More, of course, on those plans in a little while. But wrapped around that helix is the branch line, Slaughter Creek Canyon, which takes us all the way around to the other side of the lower deck of the layout room to the Allied ply mill. And technically, at least, the layout finishes there. I have a bridge which just lets me do continuous running. But that's what we've got so far. You can probably see on the track plan that we have just a handful of industries, enough to keep me interested for the time being at least. We have Winkle's Gourmet Food Distribution Centre in the town of Dexter itself. If we come on just a bit further past the throat of the yard, we have a very simple single spur which takes us to Dexter County Recycling. And then as we cross over 17th Street and come round the sweeping curve of the Narrows here, as I'm calling it, we have one more industry before we get to the point really properly where the track splits, a small sand transloading facility. I didn't really want too much on this lower deck to be involving any sort of complex switching moves. At the moment at least, it's more a case of keeping me interested. And then as we see a small local coming around Slaughter Creek Canyon, that takes us out to the Allied Ply facility, a small mill taking wood chips coming in by road, and with the usual processes of adding chemicals and so on and so forth, bonding that into sheets of plywood. So I thought it might be fun to have a tour of the layout by hopping on board one of my trains and having a bit of a cab ride. So here we are, right at the beginning of the layout, technically at least the furthest point east even of Dexter itself, at Grant Junction, where our cab ride begins. Almost straight away, here we are taking the main line, which runs alongside and behind Dexter Yard. You can see we've got a BNSF grain train held in the siding here. And as we sweep around the main curve, the first industry that comes into view is Winkle's Gourmet Foods. So let's have a quick look at that. You can see that at the moment it's just in a sort of mock-up stage, made out of foam core board. But hopefully you get the idea, the work I've done on it so far. What we've got is a fairly simple, small warehouse facility. There'll be 3 doors in total for reefers and box cars to bring in frozen products, maybe sort of shipments of printed cardboard box packaging material, stuff like that. And then a separate spur just to the left of the shot here, where tank cars will bring in some of the chemicals needed for Winkle's to produce the range of foodstuffs that it sells in Dexter. So Dexter County Waste, a very simple industry for the layout, almost exclusively box cars being swapped out, containing various kinds of waste products to be sorted and sent out for further distribution here at the facility. Very straightforward. It's based on a real facility that I saw in Colorado when I was last visiting over there. So here we are, continuing our journey out of the suburbs of Dexter and into the countryside. The track rises slowly here on a fairly steady gradient, and as we sweep around the corner and get towards the main control point of Heron, we pause one more time here because coming up on the left is the sand transshipment facility. Another fairly simple little industry where small 2-bay hopper cars are shoved into the spur, and then a simple conveyor tranships sand from the hopper cars into waiting trucks with special containers that go on the back. Let's get back into the cabride. We're not actually going to travel up the helix on the main line today, but you can see that now on the right as the cabride continues and we start to make our way along the Slaughter Creek branch through the Slaughter Creek Canyon. And as we emerge from the canyon, the first thing we see for Allied Ply is a small yard with one storage spur and a runaround track. Everything at this far end is very much still in its raw mock-up state. In fact, quite a few bits and bobs are only temporarily placed, completely removable, more just a case of sort of bedding in the track work and things. But already it's given me plenty of opportunities for some quite interesting operations. I'm assuming that early in the week the local brings quite a lot of empty wood chip gonds all the way to the end of the branch line here, leaves them, 4 or 5 of them, in that spur. At the back there it's a bit dark yet because I haven't done anything about lighting from an upper deck downwards, but leaves all the empty wood chip hoppers there. Locals will also bring out the box cars and the chemical tankers as needed, as well as taking loaded wood chip gonds back to Dexter Yard periodically through the week as the industry has finished the task of filling them up. So it doesn't take very long to get around the layout at the moment. Maybe, I guess, 4 or 5 minutes at the most for a local running at a fairly small speed to make its way all the way around if it didn't stop. But already the industries that I've put in place here mean that actually it can take, well, it's certainly a good sort of 15-20 minutes to work round to Allied Ply, and if you factor in as well the switching that can go on here at Allied Ply, by the time I've done all that and returned to Dexter, it's quite easy for an operating session of 40-45 minutes to go by very, very quickly. And that's good enough for me, really. It means that my plans for the first phase, this first year of operations on Fairview, I've more or less met my goals, really, in terms of having all the track work down, testing things really intensively now, but crucially having a thoroughly enjoyable sort of self-contained ops session, good to go whenever I want to do it. And at this point I was going to say a lot more about my plans for the next 12 months, but I've realised that this has become a fairly long video by my usual standards. I could probably witter on for ages about all the things I've got in my head about the direction I want to take, but I think it's probably best if I just shut up for today's video. And as always, thank you for the comments and the support that you've given me over the past few years, and maybe just invite you to sit back and enjoy some shots of the layout in operation as things stand 12 months in, and hope that you'll tune in soon for some more updates. So thanks once again, bye for now, and hope to see you again soon.